All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I think we are live. It is Matt and Charlie here with Yehuda Remer, and we are just going to vamp until some people come in and see that we're on. We have one person that is on. Woohoo! Anyway, so what has been going on with you, Mr. Mallory, before we start talking with Yehuda? Matt's been working with the tech people to figure out why his service isn't working. Which
Sounds like
is
there's
quite
a
all right.
sounds like there's a whole traffic jam going on there. Is that at your house there in Texas?
I mean, my wife is whispering about 10 feet away to the baby.
Well, you've got a really good microphone.
Yes, you do.
And I'm just using earpods.
Oh man. So I've talked to some friends before, and they've, they're in the airport and they have their AirPods on, and all I can hear is the flight announcements, and I'm like, dude, you can't do this, man. And then so I went into a store one time wearing my AirPods, and he was like, dude, what is going on? I can't hear a thing, and I'm like, this is what it's like when you're at the airport, man.
So I'll tell you, I just got the Apple AirPod Maxes.
Yeah.
The big ones. And those things are freaking unfreaking believable.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Guns and Barbecue made it. Good to have you here, bud. Good to have you here. All right. So let's kick things off and get things rolling, shall we? Let's do it. So Matt and Charlie here. We are talking with Yehuda Remer. Yehuda is known as the Pew Pew Jew, and he has a brand new book out that is called Spot Ghillie. Oops, I'm pulling it the wrong way there. Spot Ghillie, and what it is it's a Where's Waldo for gun folks. Some of the cool characters that he has in here. Let me get to the first page. He's got a lot of advertising, which is great. He has people. He has the vet bro. He has the FUD. He has an angry RSO. He has an ATF agent and a gun buddy. And some of the people that we know, he's got Amaj Teray in here. He has a cartoon version of Brandon Herrera. He's got a cartoon version of Ava Flanell and her dog Peaches. He's got a tactical rabbi, and of course Bullet the Bulldog. And they are all in. It's like a cartoon version. Check it out. It's like a cartoon version of Where's Waldo. And here's all sorts of scenes. This looks like a cowboy and Indian scene, right? With some people.
That's actually like a Bass Pro Shop setting.
Oh, right. It's a Bass Pro Shop setting. I should look at the book a little bit more, right?
Yeah, I do have a.
There is one that's Cowboys and Indians, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a Revolutionary War one, which is pretty cool. So this I got to say, man, this is something that is unbelievably clever. It's obviously Where's Waldo was big a while ago, and to have you bring this back and have it be for gun folks it's completely it's great, man. It is awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's funny. Waldo is ageless, right? I have a 14-year-old, 14-year-old, 12-year-old, 7-year-old, and 2-year-old, and my 3 older ones, they still, fight over the Where's Waldo books, and that's kind of how the book came to be. I was kind of trying to think, I mean, both of you know me pretty well, and I can't just do everything. I can't do something that everyone else is doing, right? I have to really be different than everyone, and which is an understatement, I know. However, I just was walking in my house, and my kids had left a Where's Waldo book on the floor. They didn't put it away. And I'm like, oh, that would be pretty fun. What happens if there was a Where's Waldo for gun owners and you have to spot the sniper, hidden in the brush? And I'm like, oh, well, that's going to be my next book. And I called my buddy immediately. He's kind of my creative director here at the Pew Pew Jew, even though I don't pay him. He's a friend who I've had for 20 years. And I'm like, dude, what do you think of this idea for a book? He goes, how long will it take to make, and when are we doing it? I said, honestly, it's just a matter of coming up with the images that I want to see and then having my guy do it. And I think the whole book took about 5.5 months to make.
Wow.
So kind of from the first thought of it until it came out was, I believe, May to November.
Nice. I mean, I look at this and I'm like, how much time does an artist have to put into to create 2 whole pages of characters, and then you've got to plant the characters you're supposed to look for, and then make characters that are close to them but not exactly, and come up with the whole scenario of being on a Revolutionary War battlefield, or being in what am I looking for? In Tombstone, Arizona, or something like this,
Well, surprisingly, how he did it is he would first send me a sketch, and the sketch would just literally be almost like a watercolor painting of what the overall idea would be, but it is rudimentary. It almost looks like you're looking at landscape through a very blurry window. Like you can't make anything out, but like I've worked with him long enough to like, okay, I see where he's going with this. I'm gonna say yes or no, because one thing that I love about working with my guy, this guy Amar Dega, he knows he knows the floor plan. I give him my 2 cents. I say, hey, this is what I envision, but a lot of it is from his own mind. A lot of it is, hey, I'm gonna design it this way, because I give him not creative control, but the use of his creativity to inject into the ideas that I brought to him, because I can't. I'm not going to say that I can do it by myself, man. I can't even draw a proper stick figure without ruining that. So
You can't draw a stick figure with a ruler.
no. I mean, literally, I will destroy a stick figure. But this guy is so incredibly creative, that I kind of just say, hey, you do you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, is it the same guy you've had illustrate your other books?
It is the same guy who has done 8 out of 9 of my books. Yes.
Wow. Because
Yeah.
I mean, when you go from Safety On to 10 Little Liberals, you're like, this can't be the same artist.
Right, and then from 10 Little Liberals, or 10 Little Gun Grabbers to
to 27 words.
Next to 12. Right. I don't even know how many books I have or the names of them. But then
let me look at my books on the wall. I can't
Yeah.
remember the name of them. I have so many.
Right, but then you have you have like Safety On and 27 words are similar. Then you have 10 Little Liberals and 10 Little Gun Grabbers are 2 totally different feelings than what you got from the first 2. And then the next thing you know is he does like a Where's Waldo style. And I mean, this guy literally is a godsend for me. He has been able to bring every project I have to life, and he nails it every single time. Just every time.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. All right, hang on for a second. So we want to plug this. We have more people watching, which is fabulous.
Yes.
Where's just quickly? Where's all the comments coming from?
Coming from all the different platforms that we're listing.
Oh, okay, fine, cool.
Yeah, like this one. This one's got the little Facebook logo on it. So this is Steve. And he is watching on the Facebook. And of course, from the YouTube side, we have the Armed Princess saying, "Oh, hey."
Oh, hey. So I have to. Is she on your channel, Charlie?
She better be. I told her she needs to go to my channel.
Okay, because I know she was gonna give me some. What do you call it?
Inappropriate Snapchats.
Yeah,
I'm-
something like that.
Nice.
What do you call it?
What do you, I'll never forget what's her name, right?
And what do you call it?
What do you call it, right? Anyway, so we are doing a giveaway tonight. If anyone has entered recently within the last month, just over a month.
Yep. Last
Um,
month and this month.
Please go to meetthepressers.com/giveaway and enter the code Jew, and we are going to give away a green laser cert training pistol, and we are going to be giving, and that's valued at $439, as you see on the crawl on the bottom, and we're also giving away a Mantis X10, which is valued at $250. So it's great to have people chiming in and tuning in and writing in to try to win those. So anyway,
So,
let's get back to it.
Wait, speaking of a cert pistol, one of my closest friends here in Texas, he bought a gun from me years ago. I helped him buy a gun, and obviously with everything going on, he called me about a month ago, and he's like, "Listen, I need you to teach me how to clean the gun and shoot." So I did, and I'm very happy to say he's gone to the range without me another like 7-8 times in the last month. And then on top of that, there's a range by my house that was doing a big SIG deal where pay for 1 year's membership up front and you get a SIG X macro. And he jumped on that deal. So now he has 2 guns. And he texted me earlier this week. And he's like, "Hey, my boss bought two of these guns. Have you ever seen them? And they're cert pistols, whatever you call them, right? And with the red laser." And I'm like, "Oh man, I've been dying for one of those for years to help training."
Mm-hmm.
He gave you one? He's like, "Yeah." And I love just shooting my kids around the house, like I'm like, "Dude, come on." I'm like, "Oh man, like I can really use one."
That's cool, man. They are a lot of fun, man. They are a lot of fun.
I like shooting pictures of relatives on the wall that I don't like.
Right. Yeah, they're very nice to have. I keep mine on the kitchen table, so that and I keep it in a holster so I can put the holster on and practice drawing and practice drawing and trigger press and side alignment and all the cool stuff. So
yeah, I keep grenades on the kitchen counter.
Oh, perfect. Good. Yeah.
Got one right back there, actually.
Don't touch it.
It's right there.
Don't touch it. Rebecca Schmoy is chiming in. She says, "Hey, she is a big fan. She'll says, I'll let you argue about which one of you I'm talking about." Oh, all right. I see how.
Well, I mean that's obviously me because and Rebecca will vouch that I helped her get into her position where she is right now in the Kansas State House. So it definitely had to do with me.
I think so. Rebecca's a lot of fun. So if folks don't know who Rebecca is, folks don't know who Rebecca is, she is the president of Kansas, or whatever, as her kids like to say,
or whatever.
So, yes, she's in the Kansas House of Representatives for District, oh my God, 58 or 59. So rock on. So we know cool people. David says the certs are for serious training, and they're not cat toys. This is true. It's
true, but clearly he doesn't follow me in my sense of humor. So I mean, I appreciate him being here, but yeah.
So how did you pick people to come up with to be in the search in the Spot Ghillie book?
Okay, so some of them were just super easy, right? I mean, the 5 ones on the cover, you have the vet bro kind of making fun of the grunt style Black Rifle Coffee guys. I mean, that was just a given. You had the Fuds. We all make fun of them. That he's wearing his shirt that says "I'm 2A, but I'm pro 2A, but."
Right.
We always make fun of those really angry RSOs who yell at us at the range. So that was definitely also another given. God, who else is on the cover there? The ATF agent. I'm just going in the order. The ATF agent was just also a relative. Anyone we poke fun at, I kind of use them. So you got the ATF agent, and then last, obviously, the Gun Bunny. The tactical rabbi stemmed. Just I wasn't gonna put myself in, because I've already made a cameo in one of my books. So yeah, I made a cameo in one of my other books. So I might put myself in the next volume. I'm kind of annoyed that I put a bullet the bulldog instead of thinking of a trash panda. I mean, that. I'm literally kicking myself for not thinking of that. But volume two is in the works, and there will be a trash panda that will be searched for.
Cool.
And then the three extra people. I reached out to Maj. I'm like, hey man, can I use your likeness? This is the idea for the book. He's like, absolutely no problem. Brandon also was no problem, and then Ava literally did not even hesitate. And Ava was great because Ava kept bothering me over like the last 5 months. She's like, "When can I talk about the book? I can't wait. I can't wait. When can I talk about the book?" And I love Ava. She is someone who's just been amazing to me, and has guided me, advised me on things, and I've become very close with her. So yeah, and then volume 2 is going to be fun too. I already have some ideas of where I'm going to go with it, and just gotta actually do more work on it.
That's cool. So Michelle Ann asked us how she could enter. Sorry to interrupt. Asked us how she could enter for the Cert Pistols, and what you need to do is you need to go to meetthepressers.com/giveaway and type in the code Jew in order to be entered for the Cert Pistol or for the Mantis X.
Yep. I threw that in the chat window too, or in the posted that.
So I gotta say, I thought the Fud might look more like a shotgun guy, and I gotta tell you, when I right, I thought that when I go out and do shotgun stuff with John Petrolino, we go out and do sporting clays. We always diss the Fuds while we're out doing Fud activity.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're wrong book. I definitely hear what you're saying. My goal with the Fud was just the guy who's all camoed out,
right?
And wearing the shirt that says "I support the 2A butt." Now, it's kind of hard to put a 1911 on them, or
right.
because again, all the handguns inside this book look similar, right? It's a cartoon. Oh, David Moltrup for the win. Right. I guess. Yeah, I'll give that one to you. It's hard to tell sarcasm over
right in
typing,
text.
but yeah, but that's why I kind of went with just the all camo and the I support the Second Amendment, but so
it's good. It was a good call on that.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the jersey you have on? Is that a Browns, Cleveland Browns?
Oh, please.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Shocking. Wait a second. He is a branding meister.
Telling you.
Yeah, no, I've spent close to $800 on a bunch of custom made jerseys because they I mean, I literally my 7-year-old today had an eye doctor appointment in the morning, and like on the way there I'm like, you know what? Let's play hooky today. So me and my 7-year-old went to the eye doctor, then we went out for like a brunch type of deal at this kosher restaurant. Then we went bowling, and then we just had a wonderful day together. But while we're at the bowling alley, it was like 11:30, maybe 12 o'clock 12 o'clock, something like that. And like, I'm bowling with him, and this guy comes up to me and goes, "Oh, excuse me." He goes, "I really love your jersey. Can you tell me about it?" And the guy ends up being like, it's some reformed Jewish guy from Richmond, Virginia, who's in town for a conference something. And he took my card. He's like, "Wow, this is amazing. I'm going to buy some stuff." And literally, that's why I wear the jerseys.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's very cool.
That is, it's definitely the way to go. It's sometimes I gotta say, sometimes I have you on my shoulder when I'm like, I'm going to go someplace, and I want to go someplace and not necessarily flaunt who I am. Not that anyone knows who I am, but I don't always want to. I know I don't always want to flaunt that, so I just want to go and then be like, oh yeah, I do this. If anyone sees me, but it's never been an issue. So
Right. I mean,
that's
look,
okay.
at the end of the day, I'm not a big fan of being in the limelight, but I'm trying to make a living, and
Oh yeah,
the amount of money I've made just off people seeing my jersey has been insane.
that's cool.
Just so it's one of those things that I put on the jersey every day. Uh, I have football for football and baseball for the summer. Got a bunch of hockey ones for the winter, and it's just I will wear them because wearing a jersey for a couple hours walking around can translate to food on
Yeah.
the table.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, years ago I used to have a Cadillac, and my license plate was WebWorks, and I actually had promotional things, other things on the car, and I got business out of that. So
yeah,
nowadays,
so
not as much, because you got NRA, and then they'll throw something at your car, or key
right.
it or something. You got to kind of be careful there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, well, look, we live in occupied territory, so
Ooh, that's good. That's
yeah,
bad, but that's
just
good.
right.
So
What else? Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, we'd kind of be remiss if we didn't talk about the persecution of the Jews, obviously in Israel as well as in the United States. Are you seeing any of that down in Texas? I know there's a lot of it happening in New York City with the Hamas Palestine protests and such. Give us some insight.
So we've definitely seen it across the entire country. We definitely had the protest here in Texas, but it's one of those things that I think maybe it's just I've become like very disenfranchised with every time something happens to Israel. Um, oh God, I would never be. I hate New Jersey so much, Kevin. I can't even
Yeah,
begin to tell you how much I hate New Jersey. But
it's
no,
my neighbor.
it's
I hate my neighbor.
I'll tell you, the worst place I've ever been to in my life has been Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Literally, New Jersey's like the armpit of America, and Elizabeth is that pimple that you have in the armpit.
Oh,
It's just like,
man.
oh God. And
That
yeah,
growth.
but to answer your question, there's definitely been a big rise in anti-Semitism across the country, even in Texas. But you know, I just keep on training and training and training other people, and I posted this, and I got some heat from some people. Some people loved it, but I've always been a Glock guy. I love my Glock, um, but at the end of the day, I got the Sig X Macro because every time I went to the range to train someone, we were going through a bunch of guns. We were going through a bunch of guns for them to like get hands on before we shot. Like, hey,
Yeah,
which are the guns that feel good in your hands? Here's some of the apartments, and everyone loved the X Macro, but the range didn't have one to rent yet. So my buddy was selling one. He's a law enforcement. He's been a Glock guy. He bought one, had it in his literally his nightstand, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll just here it is for cheap." And I'm
you're
taking
taking
that
it.
thing to the range, and I'm shooting quick and accurate.
Nice.
So
Well, they do
when
say a Glock is a block.
And it's funny, don't get me wrong, I shoot well with Glocks too. I love my 43X with my Holosun optic on it, but I don't know.
It's
There
the
is something.
ergonomics.
Maybe it's the ergonomics. I don't know, but there is something about the X macro, and I have the comp version, but there's something about the X macro. Maybe it's the flat trigger. I love flat triggers a lot, but there's something about the X macro that I know I'll put it down on the bench rest, and I count down to 3. I pick up the gun and bam, 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 and 5 shots at 7 yards. I mean, getting a 4-inch grouping,
Wait, but
which is
you
not.
you just said bam, 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 but then you said 5 shots. I thought you said he was good at math, Charlie.
Oh, I'm horrible at math. Who told you I was good at math? Hey, you know what? Not all Jews are good at math. Okay.
That's where we're going with that.
Look, he did shoot 4 rounds, but he rounded up. Okay.
There you go. Right.
That's valid. That's valid. So the ergonomics, I found the Walthers and the H&Ks are at least like the PPS and PPQ for Walther, and the H&K VP9 are just like they melt in your hand when you put them in your hand. The ergonomics of the grip and the grip angle as well as the trigger are beautiful. And I shoot great with a Glock, but I shoot with less, I guess, form or function. I just put the gun in my hands with the Walther or the H&K, and it just shoots where it lands in my hand. Where the Glock, you got to work a little bit harder to get that grip angle and keep that gun on point.
Right. And I hear that. I personally am not a fan of the HKs and the Walthers just because the grips are too fat for me. And that's just my hand.
And that's how I've been with SIGs. I really don't like regular SIGs because they just seem like they're just a big tree, a hunk of a tree in my hand. But the macro or the P365 is not. It's a lot. It's more reminiscent of the Walther PPS.
So it's funny because I do not like the 365 or the XL. The X macro, the grip
okay.
is different. It is a different grip.
All right.
I was out shooting this summer with
Clint is definitely Clint macro is definitely
Go ahead.
You're good, Charlie. Go ahead.
So I was out shooting with a friend over the summer. He has VP9. I had a Glock Gen 2, and I shot so much better with this VP9. I'm like, I can't afford this, so I'm going to put it down and I'm not going to shoot it again. So that's okay.
Well,
so go ahead.
That was the VP9 you said that about?
Yeah, the VP9. It felt great. Like
I was saying that's the VP9. Wow.
The ergonomics were really nice, and I shot it so much better. And it was just using iron sights. So Kevin Sona says he wants to get a Hellcat for backup, and Charlie Mack asks, the Glock or the Hellcat? What do we got?
So the Clint and I actually demoed the Hellcat when it first came out like 3 years ago at SHOT Show, and the one thing that really stood out in my mind was just the grip. The grip was like pins and needles. Like you put your hand on that thing, and it was an aggressive grip, which definitely could keep the gun from coming out of your hands. But yeah, VP9. There we go.
2 votes for VP9. Oh, but
lots of votes for VP9. Oh,
but the Arm Princess carries her 365.
Oh, got so many VP9, so many HK people. You know what that means? Right? That they're all better than us.
So someone asked here if anyone shot Pincus's PD10 yet.
I have not shot it. I've held it a bunch of times, but I have not had the chance to shoot it yet.
I did get to shoot it over the summer, and this is ridiculous. I had to replace the mag release on my Glock, and I ended up getting an extended mag release. So now I'm used to that. And the mag release on the PD10 was flush with the grip, and I thought that was hard to find, which is completely ridiculous. But other than that, I thought I shot really well. I thought it was kind of comfy in the hand. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Rob to send me one. I don't know if For what? Just to try out, write a review.
Right?
Just to say
Yeah,
you
but
have it.
there we go. Yeah, just to have it. Well, yeah, it's funny. I have talked to so many people who were very into the Hellcat,
Yeah.
and it's so funny. I have never seen a gun loved so much that people turn their backs on it so quickly. Like, I know a ton of people who bought the Hellcat, and within 6 months, they're like, "No, we don't like it anymore. We need to get something different." So many people.
Wow.
That's a good point.
See,
I mean, there's tons of people. So, um, when
Hmm.
I'm at the range, uh, I don't even show people the Hellcat. Like taking new shooters, I won't even show them the Hellcat because personally, I hate it. But I've seen just so many
Kind
people
of love
end
it or
up,
hate it.
yeah, yeah. But so many people love it at the beginning, and then within 6 months, literally, they'll call me and they're like, "Hey, man, yeah, you were right. We liked it, but now it sucks."
I think people like that it has hell in the name. That's what I think. And then once that wears off, you're like, all right, it's just a gun.
Yeah, maybe it definitely could be. There's no, but yeah, all I know is if I'm gonna buy one more handgun, and I'm turning 40 in April, but if I and I told my wife already that I will be having a midlife crisis. Um, if for my birthday, and let's open this up to the public. Let's see what their thoughts are. Either a staccato, because I've dreamt of owning a staccato for years now. I absolutely love them. Or do I buy a Henry Big
Ooh.
Boy X, and make a tactical lever action?
I don't know if I'd buy a Henry and turn it into a
Mm.
tactical lever action. I
No,
do.
the Henry Big Boy X is all black. It's not
Okay.
wooden. It's very much
Gotcha.
like
Yep.
the Dark series from
Let me go
Marlin.
get mine.
You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah,
be
I've got
careful.
they sent me a 010. I'm not kidding. I was kidding. But yeah, they sent me a 4570 and I got a suppressor from Tactical Life in Florida. So I'm doing some videos for
Do you,
Henry, Hornady, Tactical
do you have
Life, Primary
Matt?
Arms sent me a scope.
One second. Do you have connections to Henry?
Yeah.
Here's a connection to Henry.
Yeah. Kevin, maybe they'll give me one because of my jersey.
Jersey.
But what's that, Matt? Do you really have connections?
That's funny. Yes. Yeah. I know Anthony. I've got probably about 5 of their guns total over the years.
Okay, you need to pull strings for me then. I want the Henry Big Boy X in 357.
Very cool.
All right. Send me a text to remind me and
Yeah,
I'll take a look.
yeah,
See what I can do.
absolutely. Please, you can't find them anywhere. And
Hmm.
I'm like calling in a favor
Yeah,
for this one. Like,
it took probably a good 10 to 12 months for me to get it.
oof. Well,
Yeah, it
so
took a while.
I guess it'll be for my 41st birthday.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe.
look, you got 4 months.
Got 4 months, right?
Right.
So tactical lever actions. I watched John Wick 4 the other night with my son, and what was the guy that called himself Nobody? He had a
Yeah,
lever action that he was using, which I thought
Mm.
was pretty cool.
yeah, he did. He did. I don't like it because he doesn't have a stock on his as like the
Oh, like
the old school pirate
Hmm.
right,
um
yeah, I know what the like
musket, whatever they're called.
right, like the blunderbuss handle or something.
Yeah, but yeah, I look. The world's coming to an end. I already have the trench coat. I need a lever action when I'm walking down that dusty road. Or you can't say you apocalypse all right correctly.
I dig it, man. I would love to have a lever action. I think they're great. So, so you've been taking. I have going back to training people that are interested that are in the Jewish community. One of my friends that's an instructor. He said he's had a ton of people that are from the Jewish community reaching out to him and taking licensing courses so they can get their license and they learn how to shoot when they eventually get a gun. Um, and he at first he said he said he feels weird. He feels weird helping them out in this their time of need, and I'm like, dude, you have a service, you're providing the service. It's not a
Absolutely.
big deal, you know.
I'm not doing it for free.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, I'm not doing it for free. Now here's what I do. I just give basic intro. I'm
Right,
not doing any kind of advanced training. I'm getting people comfortable walking into the range and taking that first shot.
right,
Um, that's literally what I enjoy doing. I don't like getting into the nitty gritty. I'll do proper grip, proper stance, proper,
sure.
how to get to the wall with the creep, and every shot should be surprised. I do all of that, but I keep the more extensive stuff for people like Rob, who've been doing
Yo,
it for years.
absolutely, absolutely. My attitude is this too, and it's Matt had to disappear. His router went out, so he'll be back. Um, it's interesting to me when people want to go from, hey, I'd like to have a gun, to when can I start carrying? And I'm always like, hey, put the brakes on a little bit. You need to learn how to shoot. You need to learn how to handle your gun. You need how to run your gun. You need to learn when you can shoot someone and when you can't shoot someone. Because if you think you're going to start carrying a gun around and wave it around because somebody cut you off in traffic, that is not why we
Right.
carry guns. We don't carry guns because somebody parked too close to our car and dented it with their door. Um, that is not what we have guns for. So I appreciate that they're here, and I'm glad they're in the club. And welcome. Learn how to shoot. Do all of this, but get some more training. Do some studying.
Absolutely.
um, I think it was I got a gun license in 2002, and I had restrictions on my license, so I wasn't able to carry. But I knew that I wanted to carry because in my mind, that's this is the thing to do, is to carry a gun to be able to protect yourself and your family. And it wasn't until 2006 when I moved and I lived in a new town when I got a license with no restrictions on it so that I could start carrying. And I'll admit it, when I started carrying, the whole thing was really new to me. I had a Phobos holster, and I would carry outside the waistband because there weren't as many inside the waistbands as I have now, for sure. Um, but I carried an unloaded gun because the whole thing was new, and the whole thing was new. And what if something happens, and all of that sort of stuff. So after a few months of carrying an unloaded gun and having ammo in my other pocket, then I said, all right, you know what, I'm going to give this a try and carry a loaded gun. And now it's certainly become a way of life, and I feel naked without one.
No, absolutely. And for us, it's a little different here because we have constitutional carry. So someone
Right.
buys the gun, they can walk out the store with it on their hip.
Yep.
No problem. So we definitely talk about. I urge people to still get a license to carry,
Hmm.
because we still issue them in Texas. So I definitely still urge them because I think it's important for them to get that in class training. Also, it helps when you buy a new gun. You don't have to. There's no background check.
Right.
So it definitely helps with that. But there was a few people that started carrying, most of them without a round in the chamber, and I'm like, hey, look, I get it. When most people start who have never been exposed to guns really start carrying, usually they'll carry without a round in the chamber. Um, but it's steps. When you have to be. I tell everybody that you have to be mentally prepared,
I'm
right?
sure.
You carrying around in the chamber or even a gun on you is like 90%. Sorry, it is like 10% of the psyche that you have to have. You have to be like, okay, I'm carrying this for self-defense, which means I can die, which means I can take a life. Like there are so many things that come into play. But yes, also for reciprocity as well.
Yeah, and Florida's now Kevin Stone is coming to us from Florida, and he highly recommends the permit just for the Federal School Zone Act. So I guess in Florida, if you have a permit, you can carry on school property, and that varies from state to state as well. Like in
Right.
Ohio, sorry, in Utah, you can carry on school property inside of a school if you have a permit. So that varies from state to state. But yeah, if people are going to be traveling, they're going to the NRA annual meetings or Gun Rights Policy Conference, USCCA show, and they want to go someplace and they want to have some reciprocity and carry in other states, then it's going to be a good idea for them to have their home state permit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, but no, I've been training, and I do charge people for my time. I've also worked a deal with a local range that if I take someone there training,
Mhm.
uh, for a lane with unlimited time on the lane, a lane, unlimited handgun rentals, and 100 rounds of ammo to train is $50,
That's a good
which
deal.
is a very good deal.
Yeah.
That
Not
way
bad.
people can get, yeah, that way people can get 100 rounds in for their first time or even second. I've taken I've taken a couple there about 6 or 7 times. How help them clean the gun, help, a lot of different aspects. But we do it at the range, and that's what they charge, $50. That's it, nothing more. And then my charges, and I'm super cheap because I
We,
charge
we,
about
we call it tactically frugal.
or you can just say I'm Jewish. No, but
What?
what?
Wasn't gonna say
But
that.
no,
Wasn't gonna say that.
no.
You can say that. We can't say that.
But no, honestly, I charge $100 for the training session, because I do know how expensive it is to begin getting into firearms, and I want people to say like, okay, the training was only $100, so now if I have to spend, $600 on the gun, it's not crazy. Rather than like, I know people. There's a guy in my community that charges 350.
Mm,
And I'm like, hey, that's you do
wow.
you want to go to him, I'm fine with it. But I will only charge $100 because to me it's more important that Jews are learning and arming themselves than it is to make a ton of money off them.
Sure.
So, and it's great, some people have had
You
me
know
back
my
numerous
prices.
times. Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, pricing is certainly difficult as a firearm instructor because you don't want to be the person that charges the least amount, but you don't want to be the person that charges the most either, because that certainly eliminates people from taking classes with you. I've got one friend that the police in her town charge $80 for the 4-hour non-live fire licensing course, and that's what she charges because that's what they charge, and she wants to compete with them. And I'm thinking, if you do a better job than they do, then charge more than they do.
So I'm in a unique position being the resident gun guy in my community, that's been preaching this stuff for 9 years now since moving to Texas. So I don't really have any other competition.
Hmm.
Um, besides this other guy that does it, but like I said, he charges 350. And again, you want to charge 350, by all means, I'm fine with it. If people want to go to you, by all means, you do you. If they don't want to use me, I don't care. But like, I had one friend of mine went to a local gun range and paid a ton of money for one of the people there to teach them to shoot. And he came out and he's like, dude, I learned nothing. And I spent 45 minutes with him on the line, and just literally baby steps, walked him through stance, grip, how to pull the trigger, how to line the sights. And he's like, so I don't, he goes, I don't know why I didn't call you first. So it's just like one of those things that, I'm the resident Jewish gun guy, and Jews like to stick with Jews. So
Right.
I've been busy, so it's been great.
That's cool.
Yep.
So David here says that the
Right.
New York State 18-hour class is quite prohibitive for those who need protection the most. Absolutely. If the anti-gun wackos haven't figured out that if they can't take guns from us, then they'll do what they can to take ammunition. They'll do what they can to, people don't have access to firearms. And then when that falls through with Bruin, then they decide, hey, let's make training real expensive, and let's, make it 18 hours or 16 hours like it is in Illinois. And let's add more to it. Let's add more to it. So it costs more money. It's more time, more money, and in order for someone to exercise their constitutional right and be able to protect themselves. I've done it a number of times here in Massachusetts, and between the price of a course, the price of the licensing, here in Massachusetts, most of the places are sports. I'm going to use air quotes when I say sportsmen's clubs. There's only a few places where you can go and rent guns. So when people talk about range fees, I'm like, what's a range fee? They're like, oh, it's the VIG that you pay to go use the range. We don't have those here. You have to be a member if you want to shoot at a club. So it's honestly, depending on the kind of gun you get, it's an easy $800 to $1,000 from, hey, I think I want to get a gun, to shooting your gun with your gear and your ammo at the club that you belong to. An easy $1,000. And I started becoming a gun instructor so I could support my shooting habit. Like, I was like, hey man, if I become a gun instructor, then I can buy guns and write them off on my, buy guns and ammo and write it off on my taxes. Like, sign me up for that, man.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. I'm so happy I live in Texas.
Free America, man.
Oh yeah.
Right. I remember
to
you,
Texas.
Yehuda, you were telling me that when you took your AR to Texas, you're like, hey, do you? And they're like, you said, I just came from California. Do you guys? And they're like, yes, we do. Well, give it to us. We'll put a collapsible stock on it. We'll, put a bayonet lug and a flash hider on it and do all the free stuff.
Oh man, and they took out the bullet button right on the spot, and then I asked them where I can get 30-round magazines. They're like, oh, we have them in front, but can I offer you a 100-round drum? I'm like,
right.
so like
wiping the drool
yeah,
off your mouth.
wiping the drool, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but
It's funny.
No, it's awesome. It's and I love it. I absolutely love being here, being able to exercise my Second Amendment rights freely without any real. I mean, there's some restrictions still, but nothing like if Kevin Sona's here. Nothing like their fake constitutional carry in Florida. Just gonna throw that out there. Oh yeah. I went to Florida. I went to Florida in October, and
Well, that's like people say
Oh,
whatever.
That's breaking up.
He cut me off anyways.
That's all right. Say it again, Matt.
I was just going to say that the constitutional carry versus permitless carry. Everybody says constitutional carry when it means the state shouldn't be involved, but truly permitless carry is what
this is
what we
talking
have.
About. This
what
is
we're aiming for.
So I love this debate. I got into it on one of my shows with Evan Knappen up in New Hampshire, and he's the premier attorney up in New Hampshire and in New Jersey. He says it's permitless carry. Because of course, if you can have whatever you want, you don't have any infringement with constitutional carry. But I've heard people say that they like to say constitutional carry because they like to remind the anti-gun folks that it's a constitutional right. So I always say constitutional carry, permitless carry, whichever one. I hate saying it means the same thing, but to lay people, it means it means the same thing. It's synonymous with each other.
Agreed.
All All right, listen, I'm going to take a moment here. If you are watching the show and you have not gone to meetthepressers.com/giveaway and put in the code Jew, then you have not been entered into the drawing. We are giving away a CERT green laser pistol worth $439 tonight, and we are also giving away a Mantis X10, which is valued at about $250. So please make sure you go to meetthepressers.com/giveaway and type in Jew. Let's see what Kevin says. Kevin says permitless carry. And then he says, I tell the people all the time that Texas isn't as Texas as you think it is. Or we're going to sit back and let you guys fight it out.
I mean, you can. So yes, I'll agree with Kevin, but again, Florida has quasi-constitutional / permitless carry, whatever you want to call it. Quasi. You know why? Because I can go outside and carry openly or concealed whatever I want with my constitutional carrier in Texas. Florida, if I recall, you are only allowed to have constitutional carry with carrying concealed unless you're going fishing or hunting, and then you can carry openly. So not constitutional carry.
Well, I'll tell you this. I went down to a Florida carry event that Kevin was hosting a few years ago, and I brought a gun with me. Of course, I brought I had a holster with a retention device, and I could open carry while I was on my way to or from doing the ING activities, fishing, hunting, or camping. And it was a camping event, so I was good to go. When the camping event was done and we went back to Kevin's place, I had to leave my gun in the console loaded while I carried a holster without a gun in it.
And your masculinity tanked.
Yeah, it feels weird. It feels weird to be walking around and let everyone know that you've got a gun somewhere, but not on your hip.
Is that a gun on you, or are you happy to see me? All right, here's my 4570. Ready?
Wow.
Yes. Okay. So that's the base that I want, and then I'm gonna put the rails on it. Like do the whole tactical look to it, because I've always loved. I mean, one of my top five favorite movies of all time is Winchester 73.
Oh yeah.
So I've always wanted.
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, exactly. I've always wanted a Winchester 73. However, I also know myself, and like if I got a little scratch on the wood, I'd be pissed off. So I would never actually take it out and use it. Versus if I got like a Henry Big Boy X and then tack it out, maybe even get it Cerakoted to make like it's been beat up and worn. Just like I said, it's the big 4.0. So,
You gotta do something a little crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
So Guns and Barbecue says, I believe permitless carry gives an illusion. Fine, you don't need a permit to carry concealed, but you still may not be able to open carry. And then he says, what the Jew said. There we are. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then we get this comment here. Go ahead.
Was that a Halo?
Oh, I don't know what that was. That was me doing the Chris Farley El Nino skit.
Oh, jeez.
I know you know that one, Charlie, right?
Must.
God, he's dressed as like this mystical genie, and like there's like a whole storm behind him, and he's like, I am El Nino, god of all storms. All the storms bow to El Nino, and he goes, El Nino in English. El Nino is Spanish for. He looks around, and he goes, the Nino, and like, but he's doing his whole wavy.
Oh my god! What movie was this from?
Yeah, it was an SNL skit.
SNL? Okay.
SNL skit. I'll send it to you. It's one, as someone who lived through the initial El Nino in the 90s, in LA. It like when I first saw that, it just hit home, and I was laughing so hard. So,
all All right, we got a serious question here from Guns and Gats. He says, "What are the 7 questions that will be asked at the heavenly tribunal, and which do you have the most difficulty maintaining or succeeding in?"
I don't know if that's a Jewish thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, I've never heard that before. Is that something like when Christians die and go up to heaven, there'll be 7 questions that are asked?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like, did you carry
Hope
around
that's
in
not
the
a
chamber?
requirement.
Did you dry fire every day? I don't know.
Right.
Those type of questions.
Michelle
Not a
says
Jewish
not a
thing.
Jewish thing. Yeah.
Well, then, if anyone wants to enlighten me, I'm all ears. I'm just not really familiar with the
Familiar with
7
what it is.
questions, the heavenly tribunal.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. So Kevin wants
All
to know
right,
where
I-
the giveaway link is.
Pulled the list, Charlie.
All right.
Too late.
So we've okay. So much. The time is up. We only have a few minutes left. So let's pull the numbers here, shall we? Matt's going to give us a couple numbers. Yehuda, you're going to pick the numbers. He's going to give you a range. Pick a number in that range. Like an even number, not like a 0.3 or something like this, right? But pick a number, and we're going to give away. Which one do you want to give away first? The SIRT pistol or the Mantis X?
are you asking?
We can do the cert,
Let's do the
or
SIRT
actually
pistol.
we can let Yehuda decide.
Oh, I don't know. Doesn't make a difference to me.
Well, let's
Oh,
do this.
just SIRT pistol. There we go.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
1 to 22.
7. In honor of the heavenly questions that no one knows about.
All right. Ken Corley.
All right. Congratulations, Ken Corley. You're going to get an email from Matt confirming that you won and getting your address. And let's pick another number for the Mantis X, which is also a dry fire training tool.
1 through 22.
Not 7.
Oh wait, 1 through 21. That gets at this point.
Well,
I'm gonna go with 18.
David Moultrup.
Ha!
David Moultrup. Didn't he win
Yes.
something already? Didn't he win something?
Um,
Speaking of David Moultrup, congratulations, David. David says there was an active killer in Vegas today, a couple hours after an assault weapon ban was denied. Unanimous consent in this. Yeah. Is it a coincidence? No. I'm going to say no. And I hate being one of those, tin hat foil conspiracy guys, but really, what are the odds? It's not unanimous, and then all of a sudden there's somebody out
exactly.
actively killing people with an assault weapon.
I think at this point I'm so like convinced that they're all connected somehow. I mean, maybe I need to take the tinfoil yarmulke off, but
Nice.
I just can't. There's no way that every single time the Democrats are getting their butts whooped in something or something like this, like the assault weapons ban gets denied, that it just happens.
Mhm.
I just don't believe that it's that coincidental every time.
Yep.
I hear you. It really is. The anti-gun folks, the leftists, having a hissy fit, and they don't want to get their way, so they throw a temper fit and
Temper
carry
fit.
on.
I like that.
A temper fit. All right, listen, it is about time for us to go. Everybody needs to go buy this book, Spot Ghillie. It is the gun owner's version of Where's Waldo. This is Yehuda's 9th book. Where can everybody find this, Yehuda?
You can find it on my website, thepewpewjew.com. That's if you want signed copies, especially for Christmas. It's a great time to. It's a great book to like cuddle up with your little ones, Christmas morning, and just spend time with them instead of let's go run and turn the TV on type of thing. So you can sign copies on my website, thepewpewjew.com. If you don't think my Herbie Hancock is worth $9, you could go to Amazon and get it.
All right, very cool. And all your other social medias, you're all over the place.
Cool.
Yeah, the Pew Pew Jew everywhere.
The Pew Pew Jew everywhere, and you've got two. You've got a backup account on Instagram too, right?
I do. I haven't really used that one in ages because my main one's grown so much this past year. But I need to start rebuilding the backup account.
Right.
It's just we're talking about 5,500 followers on the backup to just under 47,000. So eventually I'm gonna be
Awesome.
I'm gonna be nicked. So
Yeah.
Got to make hay while the sun's shining.
Yep.
All right. Very cool. We need to log out. It's been an hour. We've taken up an hour of everyone's time. Yehuda, thank you so much for being on with us.
Absolutely.
Everybody, please go
Thanks.
to thepewpewjew.com. Check him out on all the social medias. Get your copy of Spot Ghillie. And we're going to do this again. And thank you guys for tuning in. Congratulations to our winner, David and Ken. Matt is going to write to you guys, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in, and happy holidays. Thanks a lot.
Stay safe.